Greetings, my people. What's up? Thank you for tuning in to your Spiritual Homegirl podcast with your host, me, SB. Tonight, I want to ask a question. A question just to see who can relate or whatever have you. But the question is, how many of you have been sick of your own shit? How many? And I ask that question because I sit here and I have been trying to get this podcast together since summer of last year. The holdup has been me because somewhere in my mind, I am a perfectionist. I feel like when I do anything, it has to be this big show. I feel like when I do anything, it has to be absolutely perfect. I know that none of that is true. But that same part, at that same time, I feel like everything has to be done perfect. Everything has to be big, go big or go home. And that has stopped me from being the greatness that I am. That has caused me to be sick of my own shit. For many, many, many years now, I've always had ideas. And granted, I don't this is not me being tough on myself or talking down on myself because everything is a process, everything. But for a very long time, I have really been trying to bust out of this shell that I have always been in. And I think I know a lot of it has come from growing up. I can get into that later, but I can definitely say that I put myself, in a shell at a very young age because of some of the things that were said to me. And it has taken my awakening that happened in 2018 to really come out of this shell. I'll get into that in another episode as well. But fast forward to now, I'm really sick of my shit. I sit on ideas, good ideas, and that's not even me tooting my own horn, but I sit on my own ideas. I mean, you can ask anybody really close to me the things that I bring to them that are good, but they always fall by the wayside. So somewhere in me, I decided that enough was enough. And if I don't do anything, I'm going to finish something. In 2009, I decided I wanted to be a rapper. And it was fun. It wasn't a passion. It's just at that particular time, everybody was doing it. But in my I don't like humble. In my opinion, everybody sucked. So I just kind of felt like, well, I can do that. Let me show these people how it's done. And I did a couple tracks. And I mean, again, I'm going to toot my own horn with this one. They were good tracks. I did them in a way that if I had ever gotten to a point of being ready to put the stuff on radio, they would have already been ready, mixed and ready. I also tried modeling. Modeling was cool. It was before I had my baby girl, but I felt like if I were to model to really make money, I would have to show a lot of skin. And at that particular time, I just had uh, that level of decency about myself, no shade to nobody, that I didn't want to take off my clothes just to make money. And this is before Instagram modeling, became a thing. Um, what else have I tried? I've tried so many things. In 2018, my business, Zaz Aura Wellness Company, came into fruition. It's still my baby. It's named after my baby. But even with that, it's 2022. I'm just not getting this stuff out. And now we have the podcast. Again, this podcast has been in the works since summer of last year. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to lie, I know the reason. The reason being is because I wanted it to look like I was already prepared and had everything ready to go for this podcast. You know how you see on YouTube or wherever these people record and upload their videos of them doing their podcast? That's how I want it to look. I want it to look like that. But a hard lesson that I really just got is that sometimes you can't just come out like bam and have it right. Everything is a learning process. Everything. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, at the end of the day, we are on planet Earth, and I like to call planet Earth Earth School. So I had to take a step back and really reevaluate myself and understand, well, mm, I guess, and understand that sometimes you just have to do. And the way I look at this podcast right now is y'all just gonna have to grow with me. Now, I'm not changing how I talk. This is how I talk. If anybody has a problem with it. But other than that, the look of it, the feel of it, the organization of it, all of those things are going to come to play. But in this first episode, and maybe even this first season, y'all will witness growth within me. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be that perfectionist. I have accepted that about myself, but I also had to remember that I gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't I don't speak often. I'm more of an observer. So for me to even do this, even though I'm not talking directly to somebody, even though I'm not sitting in front of anybody, this is still nerve wracking. It is. Because eventually I'm going to have y'all all up in my business, which is fine because I understand that my experiences could possibly help somebody. And at the end of the day, my mission here is to help those that I can while I can. I don't know. I don't know. I'm in a place of reflection after a wonderful retreat. Um, I'm in a beautiful place of growth. I'm finding my voice, which is essentially another reason why I wanted to do this podcast because I have a lot to say. Too many people have said that I hold a lot of wisdom, and I know I hold a lot of wisdom, but I keep a lot of stuff within myself. And that's not why the Most High put me here. I'm supposed to speak. And I can speak. I hate that over the last 4 years of my awakening, my learning, healing, growing, that I never recorded conversations that I had with close friends because those conversations be lit. So now, going forward, probably more than likely episode 2, you know, it'll be a couple of guests on the show, and I'm speaking this thing into existence. If you haven't picked that up already, there will be a season 2. But as to not take up too much of anyone's time, this is me doing. I don't have any type of structure to this first episode. Y'all really just heard me talk to myself about the things that are obvious to me. I'm really, really, really sick of my own shit. And sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and point that out. And it's okay to be sick of your own shit. What are you going to do about it after you realize that you're sick of it? That's the biggest thing. But again, I'm going to save all the good stuff for the next few episodes, but I just had to get it out. I just had to do because I'm tired of being sick of my own shit. So with that being said, be looking forward to next episodes every Sunday, 8 o'clock. In the meantime, if you want to keep in contact or excuse me, follow me social media, your spiritual HG everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I can be found in all of those areas. Um, Love and light to everybody that listened. I really, really appreciate you. I'm not open to criticism right now. I'm not open to criticism right now, but I do thank you for listening and just letting me get this out. Hopefully, y'all stick around. Hopefully, you allow me to be that spiritual homegirl. And I'll holler at y'all later.